photography would be capturing image of life, capturing moments in time, capturing, it's a lot of artistic expression. It's a lot of people's view of things.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Okay, so in this photograph, it's another BJJ photo. Yeah. This photo, it could actually be also here, but I don't recognize this fellow. So anyway, so you're on very dark mats. You're seated on your heels. You're both wearing dark gis. Big smiles, the kind of smile that comes either from a really good joke or from real fatigue, or yeah. So what is the situation? You're both two guys in a gym setting on top of mats, wearing your gis. Fingers are taped up. You are in a kind of blurred and just slightly in the background, tying up your belt, and you both have such warm, open smiles. So what was the situation?
I think for this particular picture, somebody probably did say something funny, just knowing BJJ guys. But
right.
I like this picture because it kind of gives me a reference. Like that, the other guy in the photo is my boy JJ, and so like I was just talking about, like you're bringing people up, right? Mm-hmm. So one of my mentors used to tell me is you should always you should have someone above you and someone equal to you and someone below you, right? So you should have a mentor, then you should have someone who you're on the same level with, and then you should have at least one person that you're mentoring. Mm-hmm. And so that's my boy JJ. I consider him like a mentor to me. So he teaches me, I mean, we're the same belt, but he's way better than me. So, but he shows me tricks. He's like way better. He's way more successful than me, but he's always reaching out to me, right? He's always pulling me to the side. He's always checking me. Right. That to me is like, I feel like if you give, it shall be given back to you. Right. So like, I feel like if I'm just always helping people, I'm not doing it as a selfish motive. Right. But I also feel like it'll come back. Right. So yeah, you're helping people that are less fortunate. Well, there's going to be a mentor that's going to come along in life and going to help you because you're giving into other people. Right. And so that to me is like just a photo of like good friends, jiu-jitsu.
I think it's probably that moment and that photo of your face. I mean, I've seen you laugh and smile. Yeah. But I don't think I've ever seen you quite laugh and smile in that way. Yeah. Where it's just, it's just kind of coming, just being barfed out of your face. Yeah,
that's definitely a jiu-jitsu moment. It's like you can let loose on the mat. So like definitely a different type, maybe different type of, not personality, but like a different style, I guess.
Sure, or side.
You let loose a little more when you're on the mats. Than
so I can hear in your voice the Georgia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is there something about the pace in your voice that is a Colorado? The Colorado side is way more, dare I say 420-ish. You know what I mean? Okay, now you're smiling.
I don't know. No, it's definitely not that. I don't know that I lived in Colorado to really pick up any of their accents or mannerisms that much. I only lived there for like 5 years, so I don't know.
Go on, it's okay.
But I think that's maybe just Southern. They're a little more just chill and laid back. Yeah. But it's nothing to do with like the whole 420 thing.
No, I wasn't trying to put you into the box.
But I don't know. That's just me. Like I'm pretty chill.
I'd say so. Yeah.
I never really. I don't know. Like we're all gonna. It's like. I don't understand sometimes. Like you can be, like we're all gonna die one day.
Sure.
And sometimes I feel like people just maybe take life too serious, and not that it shouldn't be, but also I know people who literally stress over everything. Right. And I'm like, you could die tomorrow. Yeah. Why are you so freaked out about? I can understand your stress. Maybe it's work. Things do have to happen. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, man, nobody gets out of this life alive, man. We're all gonna die. So, and that's not to be negative. That's like,
hey, man, it's part of the podcast, right?
Yeah, like, you have to know that like, just enjoy stuff a little more. And I think that's like even like in Hong Kong culture, I've noticed that even people in Hong Kong particularly don't really take things like jiu-jitsu, martial arts, learning skills, trades, swimming, pottery, musical instruments. They don't really put higher value on things like that. And I think because they put such a high value on monetary things that they tend to discard things like that. And that to me is a little frustrating, is you have people do things just for the money aspect and they're not really pursuing a passion.
Okay. So for somebody who has never done BJJ and who, who's kind of, what is a misconception, if there is a misconception?
I think that a big misconception is, I think people think they're going to go in there and get beat up by all these big, strong, bully guys, and then you tend to find out the longer you do jiu-jitsu, it's really just a bunch of nerds, which I think a lot of people don't understand. Guys who sit in there and talk about moves on jiu-jitsu, they're all nerds.
Right. Okay.
And now
it's because I think it's so technical.
Yeah, it has to be.
That's what totally blew me away, is how technical it is.
Very much so. And it's not these big bruiser type guys, and you'll be surprised. And I think that's why people get addicted to it. It's you can really a smaller person can really beat a bigger person if they use the right technique. And that's why you see guys in there arguing about techniques and things like that. It's no different than guys talking about League of Legends, talking about or World of Warcraft, how the Sword of Doom will work in the Cave of Wonders, and they're putting all these combinations together.
Yeah. So so describe a time where you got humbled, where you got your ass handed to you by somebody that it really kind of humbled you in the sense that I did not expect that. That was nuts.
When I first started doing BJJ in Colorado, there was this little blue belt named Jesse, and I was bigger than him, and so I was still really new. And I remember I went in there, I was like, I'm gonna smash this little kid, and I didn't know nothing, but I was like, I'm almost twice this guy's size, and this little blue belt just destroyed me. I mean, he arm barred me probably so many times in a 6-minute round. And I just remember thinking that was really a moment where I was like, this is amazing. Just shocked. I had been getting beat up all I wasn't probably 3 months in, but I had been getting beat up. But I remember that time specifically, it was just brutal. I was like, God.
Is it also that he felt your energy of this kind of cocky and thought, okay, well, I'm going to have some fun with this and go a little beyond?
Possibly. Yeah. You'd be surprised. You can pick up people's energy, right? How they're, my coach Viking used to always say, you can tell a lot by people by how they roll. And I'm starting to figure that out. You can roll with people and you can tell that they would never hurt you, right? They're being they're good, but they're also, you can tell they're cautious. But then you have people who, rolling on the mats exposes a lot of your character.
Sure.
If you're a dirtbag, it'll show up. You might be able to hide it at first. Yeah. If you're a caring person, it'll show up.
Sure.
If you're selfish, it'll show up.
The reason it shows up is because you're consciously moving against somebody, and because it's so dynamic, it kind of becomes it's not self-conscious. It's at a certain point when you're exhausted and you're just you're desperate for something.
Yeah.
If you're a chump, you're gonna go dirty or you're gonna go whatever.
Yeah.
But I understand your point.
I'm sure the same thing in Muay Thai too, right?
Yeah, of course. And I think we've talked about how sometimes the more dangerous times is when you're with a beginner.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes sense. Yeah. Definitely guys are more prone to injury in the beginning.
Right.
But I mean, I would encourage anybody just to try it, man. It's so addictive. There's nothing that really can, it's kind of like skateboarding. It's like the first 6 months sucks. You don't know anything. You can't figure it out. You're not fast enough. You're just getting destroyed. But if you can make it through the first 3 to 6 months, I got guys that have been training that were horrible, which everyone is when they first start out.
At first, yeah.
And then 3 6 months in, and they don't think they've gotten any better.
But the switch goes off, yeah.
Yeah, but then you get a new guy that just comes into the gym, and they're like just playing with the guy.
Sure,
6 months
sure.
ago, they couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
So
to
maybe
watch.
in 4 months, I too will be okay.
You're already getting better. You're already getting better.
Okay, so like, where would you like to see you hit a new level?
Explain more. Like,
Well, okay, so for example, you're on the stage of improvement,
Right.
getting better and better, right? So, do you have this vision of greater mastery, or are you just going day by day? Where do you see growth?
Yeah. Well, just for jiu-jitsu, I mean, everybody wants to get to that black belt, but my coach used to tell me, because like right now, in my opinion, I'm kind of in a phase where I'm like chasing belts.
Okay.
And I think everyone goes through it. At first, you're like, oh, I don't care about belts. It's not a big deal. Right? But as you get to like older, or you get your belt, you start chasing belts. And my coach told me, like, Viking used to say, once you get a black belt, that's like the last belt you're going to get. Right. So he said, enjoy chasing belts when you're younger. And I'm kind of in that phase where the mastery would be just to keep chasing belts until I get to the black belt.
Right.
And keep doing tournaments. We go to Japan, we do all these tournaments. We go to the Asian Open. And that to me is like, I don't know that there ever is a full mastery of jiu-jitsu. I think if I could get to a point where I could just, like the less effort I have to use, if I could get to a point where I'm using almost no effort and I'm still beating guys that are really good, that to me would be like perfection, but you'll never achieve that.
For sure.
As for a business, I'm still learning stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm running a business, but I make mistakes all the time. I screw stuff up.
For sure.
Forget stuff.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah. So like my buddy Sean even told me, he said, Jonathan, you may be a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, but you're a white belt at business. I said, you're right. I said, yeah, you're right.
Okay, look, Jonathan, man, thank you very much. I hope this actually brings people to grow the gym and more students.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Thanks, man. So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen, and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.